Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and well, if you clicked on the episode, or I guess you saw the thumbnail, you already know what we're doing. But to explain a little bit, because I think the explanation needs to come from me, otherwise I think it'll make much sense. I don't know. I have no idea what we're doing here. So yeah, that's it. Um, I do not know what Crest of the Stars is about. I do not know what Banner of the Stars is about. What I was doing was I was browsing Reddit one day, which I actually don't do all that often, and I saw that somebody was talking about doing a Crest of the Stars slash Banner of the Stars rewatch. And for some reason, it just like caught my eye. Like I don't know why, but I clicked the thread. I read a little bit, and the way they pitched it was that Crest of the Stars, Band of the Stars is like this really deep light novel series, which, by the way, um, obviously where the art comes from the overlay here, really cool looking. So, um, that is essentially like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but where Legend of the Galactic Heroes is from the perspective of like High Admiralty, that Crest of the Stars is essentially like the ground level view from that kind of same epic story. So I looked at that and I said, you know what? I'm starting to do a lot of solo stuff, and I would like something from that kind of scale for me to focus on as my next thing that I want to watch. Because there's other things I obviously want to watch after, like Ray Earth and Die Buster when I get to that, and well, the other shows you've already watched by now, because I would have put this out after I watched season one of Ray Earth. I want to finish that, and I want to pick up Die Buster because I want to see what that's like versus Gunbuster. There's other things that Fail Fisher has like recommended to me that I really want to see. But I saw this and I said I want to do this next, especially if a bunch of people are going to be rewatching it. And I know the first thought is obviously, oh yeah, I want to pick them up. Nope, I'm not even going to tell those people I'm watching it like this. Obviously, I'm going to comment in the threads because I want to like, oh, I love this or that. I just want interaction, but I'm not going to tell them I'm doing this. If they see me, cool. But whatever. I'm not a I'm not a view chaser. I do like watching it with people who come to join me, obviously already. But yeah. So yeah. Other than that, I have no idea. This is gonna be my first watch. I have the bits of the overlay you see here are as much of the art as I've seen. I don't know who she is. I don't know who the cat is. The cat. I don't know if the cat talks. I don't know. Maybe it's I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate 3 or something. But talking cats just jumped into my mind for some reason. I don't know why both of these symbols are full of snakes. This one I don't pick it up so much, but that one has the yin yang thing going on with the snakes. So I'm gonna guess kind of like an 8th MS team sort of thing, that we're two different sides, and maybe that sort of thing, like we're star-crossed lovers or something. Oh, and I'm just noticing now she's got elf ears. Yeah, I know. I put it all together and didn't know she had elf ears. I focused more on the problem I had with matching the planet up with the sky. This is a lot of different imagery all put together. Um, but yeah, I don't know anything, and if it really is like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, where, by the way, in our current point of watching, I think I've said that we are tracking 91 different characters in that show, I'll probably do a board, and I think what I might do this time as well is include my second watching in one of these, but like super speed it up so you can just see the odd things that I do while I'm taking notes and whatnot. Just to keep it all in one episode instead of like attaching my thoughts for this episode into the next episode. To try and watch it again, take my notes, and then talk about those notes at the end of the episode. So, at the very least, everything is all together, so each thing will be self encapsulated. As I say, I'm still really trying to find myself when I'm doing this solo reaction thing, because I understand that everything is a lot more entertaining when I'm with Griff and everything else, but as I've always said, I appreciate anybody that comes out here just to enjoy shows with me. I don't care if it's 100 views. I don't care if it's 1,000 views. I don't care if it's one view. If you're that one viewer and you came here because you like the show and you like watching me watch the show, you and me, man. We're having the conversation in the comment section. Just you and me. I don't care. I'm here for all of you. Or none of you. If it turns out to be that way, too. But yeah, I think I've rambled on for about over 5 minutes now. How about we just go ahead and get into the first episode, and then I can talk about it at length afterward and see where we go from there. So let's go ahead and get into it. It is a very Legend of the Galactic Heroes opening, though. There must be a computer voice. I'm very concerned now that there's no subtitles going on. Maybe we're hearing things in a different language, that's why it's not translating? I feel like these are ships being destroyed, though. In the greenness of space. Oh, those guns remind me of Outlaw Star. Okay, back to Gundam 00, I guess. Oh, I thought they were talking about dark matter. You always need a reason for us to get out there. To start a sci-fi series. Well, fuck our colony ship, I guess. I'm gonna say that unless that was on purpose. That's a hardcore way to travel, though. Okay, that's the symbol I'm used to. Say, for as ornate as this is, that was a pretty basic title card. And now I have to wonder when this came out. This style of opening? And I don't know, I want to say like 70s? Feels very 70s, like how many 80s kids out there, by the way, watched like movies at school or something that opened up this way? I don't know, maybe that's just a me experience, but I'm sure everyone that went to school with me had the same one. Here's a nice orchestra, though. I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, you could say something like this is timeless, right? Because it's just an audio experience. No words to really mess it up.
Target approaching. Direction 216. Node 94. Distance 153,000.
No answer to the distinction signal.
It's rejecting any communications. Why didn't the alarm go off?
Oh, there's some English mixed in with some of that. That's why it's not translating. Some of it's in English. All you need is 2 pinpoint shots.
消えた。わかった。すぐ全員を集めたまえ。そうだ。だが。
It's also apparently we saw the Leif Erikson 1 blow up.
そうだ。誰にもだ。
And now they're talking about Erikson 2 vanished.
我が懐かしき故郷マーティ。でも本当にただ懐かしむなんてことがあっただろうか。今までに。やだジント、あげちゃダメだってば。風が入るでしょ。ねえ。
Maybe even more concerned about your kid is
あれ何？
at a height he could die falling from. Is this the fleet we saw before the intro? Also, the way that person was just talking about having maybe missed to their home planet, or maybe not, sort of indicates to me it's not going to be there for that long.
浮かない顔ですね、司令長官でも。
遠いな。ほど遠い仕事だ。5、4、
That explains the dragon thing.
2、1。
Oh, the symbol was right behind them on the upper part of the deck. This one right here. I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna write down the dates. But obviously it's not a date thing I'm gonna be able to follow on the first go. It was just in the window, lady.
態度政権政府は直ちに友好条約を締結するための交渉を申し出ました。しかし侵略軍の司令長官はこれを拒否し、ただ説明をすると更新してきた模様です。
Well, at least he's making an announcement. Hate to be the next step to be everything just fucking starts exploding.
この司令長官の説明は侵略軍の機関から即時中継されることになりました。
司令長官は軍人でありながら
Oh god, this is gonna be another Legend of the Galactic Heroes. My
大使でもあるそうです。
brain is gonna be melting out of my nose.
見て驚かないようにね。
そんなに怖がらなくていいわ。どっちかっていうとおとぎ話の妖精みたいよ。ほら、お出ましよ。
What the view to be taking when the guy's got you dead to rights with a fleet?
彼らはね、年も取らないし、男も女もみんな美しいんですって。本人たちが言うには同じ地球の子。ただちょっと遺伝子をいじってあるだけとか。
ただちょっと。
その前に私の意志は帝国の意志です。少なく
That's
とも
interesting if
あな
true.
た方の処遇に関しては、まずあなた方の政権には貴族が報ぜられます。当分は皇帝陛下ご自身があなた方の領主となるでしょう。もちろん陛下は他にいくつかお仕事を抱えていらっしゃいますので、この政権には代官が派遣されることになります。もっとも領主もしくは代官はあまり細かいことに口を出さないのが常です。なぜなら我々は地上世界の統治を優雅さからは程遠い仕事と考えており、
If they're not going to interact, then how are they going to control you?
つまり脅しだ。我々の答え方次第でこの星を焼き払うのも躊躇しないだと。1500の友人生計、2万以上の反友人生計。
そんなものを支配しているような帝国と戦うというの？
それだって奴らの一方的な情報だろう。
Our defense force is now just rolling up.
素直に信じる方がどうかしてる。地上で迎え撃てばなんとかなるんじゃないか。
馬鹿げてるわ。
一戦も交えず屈服するのはいかがなものか。あんたは選挙でいい。
But you legitimately think they can destroy the planet and you're going to counterattack them from the planet.
この時のための対宇宙防衛システムがあるんでしょう。10機足らずのレーザーと20機足らずのミサイルでどうやって戦うんです？
Yeah, they seem to have hundreds of ships.
施設長の意見を聞こうじゃないか。
They took out your defense satellite in one shot.
それはですな、つまり
Capitulation, man, capitulation. I guess she just didn't find him. If that's an emergency shelter, good idea. If that's a private residence, that's a horrible security measure. Although it just appears to be an alleyway door of some sort. Yeah, I'm really worried now we're being introduced to this kid just to watch him die. So it looks like we've done something foolish. Guess the only hope is that these guys might think it'd be inelegant to destroy a planet full of people. It is say the landing, which makes me think maybe they're gonna land. Okay, good. Because the other one being, I missed my home world, makes me feel like it's gone. I think it's turning out to be that they left, that's all. The implications are hard to figure out. I guess he just adopted their style. The whole headband thing. I guess only he did. I would say everyone else seems dressed regular, but they also seem to be dressed like a decade behind the sci-fi world they're in.
なんだか胸がいっぱいだった。
ジント。
ディル。
こんなところにいたのか。探したぞ。
あ、ごめんなさい。すぐ戻るから。
そんなことはいい。来るんだ。
Is he like the little brother of the president?
首席官邸
No,
だ。
different guy.
父さんのところに。
Wait, no, not different guy. Dad.
いいか
Okay.
来い。
ねえ、待って。
My brain went through so many loops there, I wasn't catching up.
待ってよ。
時間がないんだ。急げ。
ねえ、怒ってるの？だったら謝るよ。だから。ねえ、
Almost seems like they're going to a bunker.
勝てるの？
勝つも負けるもない。戦争はないんだからな。
じゃあ僕たち降参したの？
そうだ。お前の父さんが降伏を決めたんだ。いや、そうじゃない。俺たちを撃ったんだ。
撃った？
They would have destroyed the planet. What do you want?
ロックのやつは取引をしたんだよ。薄汚い取引を。
取引って？
オウムみたいに繰り返すのはよせ。
Well, maybe give out some details here.
確かに俺も戦争には反対だった。けれどあんな取引をするなんて。畜生、ロックを見損なった。すまん。
Stop being so fucking vague. Tell us
お
what
前
you
のせいじゃ
did.
ないのにな。
ねえ、何がどうしたんだよ。全然わかんないよ。
ああ、無理もないな。ロックは取引したんだ。それはさっき言ったな。内容はもうすぐ発表される。それで奴の裏切りがみんなにわかる。
What do you do, like sell off 10% of the
お前の
planet?
裏切り者
Or
の
the
息
people,
子だ。
rather?
だから官邸に避難させるんだ。捕まって殴られたりしないようにな。
僕、誰かに殴られるの？
さもなきゃ部屋に発煙筒を投げ込まれたり。
It's like a decimation thing?
リナはどうするの？テルの家に僕が住んでることはたくさんの人が知ってるよ。
ああ、ちゃんと連絡しておいたさ。リナは大人だからな。自分のことくらいできる。
先に避難したってこと？
ああ、お前のことは心配してたよ。俺が探すからと言って。
Assuming Rena's a character we haven't seen on screen yet.
そう。
Although she was the female voice from before, but I thought that was maybe just his voice.
取引って何？
秘密だ。発表があるまで一般市民には漏らしてはいけない。
Tell us, we're the audience.
僕でも。
おやおや、早くも特権階級気取りか。
どういうこと？
フォローをつけていろ。もうすぐ発表だ。
今のところアーブ軍に動きはありません。林主席と侵略軍との間で何らかの話し合いが持たれた模様です。ある筋から入手した情報によると、帝国への屈服が確定したとか、その風聞が間違っていることを願ってやみません。なお、主席官邸では25時ちょうどに重大な声明を発表すると予告しました。
25
あと
o'clock.
1分です。
長い1分だった。
They just do not want us to know. Well, it's good to know he finally met his nanny, maid, whatever she was.
声明を発表します。ハイド政系政府主席
Sorry, I said that without talking. Sir!
本日23時52分、皇太子にして帝国艦隊司令長官であるアブリアルネイ・ラムサール・バルケイ王ドゥサーニュ殿下に対し、ハイド政系の独立を放棄する旨を伝えました。本日よりのち、私たちはアーブによる人類帝国の一部となります。
やっぱりまだ続きがある。
しかし主席は他政権への道をハイド政権市民の手で運用したいと考え、妥協案を提示しました。すなわち領主を政権市民から出すという案です。
そんなことが可能なんですか？
対宇宙防衛システムを無力化するコードと引き換えに、私たちの新しい支配者はこれを認めました。
アーブどもが防衛システムを
So what? That thing was ineffective.
結構いい勝負になったかもしれないのにな。
10 lasers, 20 missiles, right?
質問はまだです。
領主は誰なんだ？誰だ領主は！領主は誰なんだ？そう、俺には分かっているし、他のみんなにも分かっている。それでもはっきり聞きたいんだ。俺たちの新しいご主人様の名前を言ってくれ。
こんなのって嘘だよね。
よろしい。おそらく皆さんの予想通りです。ロックリンが私たちの生計を領地とします。
そうだ、領主はロックだ。これがお前の父さんのやった薄汚い取引だ。あいつめ、俺に相談さえしなかった。
You're a friend of his dad's.
秘書官には用がなかったんだろう。
The person you're talking to is the son of that guy.
親友だと思っていたのに。
Seems like a great deal for everyone who's talking.
そうだ、あいつはどこにいる？
Literally everyone on screen right now. This is a great deal.
首都で正式な助爵を受けるため、現在はすでに艦上の人です。
逃げたのか。それで発表を遅らせたんだな。
戻ってくるかな。
戻ってくるさ。
Honestly, I don't see what the negative side of any of this is.
いや、戻ってきたくても来れないに決まってる。帝国が奴をすんなり貴族にすると思うか。へ、奴も騙されているんだよ。いい君だ。
I mean, if that's true, that's a thing. Everything else is great.
次期領主ってわけだ。おっと、こんな口の利き方をしてはいけないな。何しろ俺たちの王子様だもんな。ご無礼の段は平にお許しください。殿下、何卒ご勘定を。
I think the guy, I think Teal's just a dick.
言い方するなんてずるいよ。
分かってる。俺はお前にひどい仕打ちをしているな。けど気持ちの整理がつかないんだ。畜生、これでもわめかないように努力してるんだぜ。けどそう、
You people just don't appreciate the situation.
一つだけ教えて。
なんだ？
リナに逃げるように言った時、取引のことも言った？
いや、一般市民には秘密だったからな。
So she ran away not knowing that she became a princess.
僕は故郷を失ってしまったのだ。故郷と、あと、もしかしたら家族も。この星には
You didn't know the princess all has to take business class.
今度はテートに行っていよいよ軍の学校に入る。でも僕はまだ本当のアーブに会ったことはない。実際それが今日初めてになる。
You guys have a feel of like on Babylon 5 being a ranger and being trained by the Minbari. Okay, my perspective on why they're all really exaggerating, because maybe I missed something huge. But whatever group, organization, empire, military, whatever that you were part of could not protect you, so it must not have been super great. And you were like wilding out about how many planets the humankind empire had under its belt, which means that they're pretty strong. Their fleet was said to be able to destroy the planet, possibly, and you were going to defend yourself with 10 lasers versus their hundreds of ships? So yeah, no practical way there. And all they demanded for control of the planet was one, making your planetary leader, chosen among you by the way, a noble, and you would get access to like transportation networks throughout the galaxy. Apparently, I mean that's great.
臨数のロックハイド伯爵講師ジンとか
故郷に帰るんじゃないのか。
ちょっと待って。美人の客室係はいないが麗しいソーダ師ならいる。
Weird comment.
もう行くのか。
ラフィールと呼ぶがよい。
Okay, I thought that was going to be Rena for some reason. I don't know, maybe that comment that they made about the humankind empire maybe possibly formerly being human and just genetically modified. I don't know. My point was, it was a war that they didn't have to fight, nobody died, and literally the guy who controlled your government already just became the guy who now controls your government. Maybe the best friend, maybe Teal has a position to be angry and upset only because he's like the best friend guy and you didn't consult him about it. Maybe they're angry because they were a democracy before and they just became a monarchy. I don't know. There's a lot here, but it seems like through no fault of his own, dude walked into a situation where literally nobody on the planet lost anything, and they're all upset about it. This feels like either it's going to be explained further in another episode, or this is a you should understand this right now, and if you don't, you're a big dummy, in which case the comment section is going to have to explain it to me. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go into my rewatch and note taking part now, which, I don't know, however long the opening of the show is, that OP number, is probably to the speed that I'm going to fast forward my note taking just so you can see it happen for artistic reasons or whatever. I don't know. So I'll see you after that. Bye for now. All right, we're back. I took all my notes as you just saw. Um, the majority of them were were me just trying to write down the dates, and I guess a lot of it took a lot longer than I thought. Going back over like day 2, month of Klosna, Imperial Year 952. I don't know if there's a difference between the Imperial years and just the years that we get. So I don't know if day 2 is different from day 57. So my first thought was, this is taking a lot longer. If they first appear in the system on day 2, it takes them 57 days to get there. Because my second thought is obviously, did they take 55 days fighting something that we didn't see? But if the imperial dates are going to be different from the year dates, then, well, even then, yeah, sorry, because I'm reading it now, and then it starts at day 57, the first season, year 172. Let's see what I write. Ship appears from nowhere, gets intercepted by Erickson 2. Weapons have no effect on the craft, and Erickson 2 gets destroyed in a single volley. Rock is told the ship disappeared while conveying his cabinet, assumedly also told about Erickson 2. Okay, and then it takes, 24 days for the evacuation order and everything? But okay, we saw the one ship in orbit. Maybe it took them 24 days for the rest of their fleet to arrive. I guess that's because after that it's like a week and the whole thing is done, right? Day 87, the Maritime government surrenders to the Ab Empire. Rockland taken to be ennobled. And then 7 years later, we have Jinto Lin returning to Maritime in the Hyde system. So yeah, it took what, a month, basically a month. The planet fell in a month, which is sounds pretty quick, really, if you think about it out loud. But to the power that the ABH, I don't know if you say it. Is it AB or ABH? Somebody tell me because obviously I didn't pick it up from watching the episode twice. It feels like they could have just done this in a couple of days. Maybe it's not elegant to do it really quickly, because that feels like the only drawback they would have. One question I had, is the sword, SORD, sword, some sort of transportation medium? Because I wrote down here, is it like the hyperspace in Babylon 5? Or did they already exist in another dimension, or whatever the sword, non-sword was? And do they call our space sword? Because it seemed like they said they're entering sword, did a countdown, and then entered the hide system. So it's like sword's another word for space, and they don't call their own space. I don't know. I took a couple of notes on the characters, but y'all don't really need to see that. That's more for me to be able to understand who's who and their responsibilities. Ba, 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 ba. See, Jinto asks if he ever really missed Maritime, yet we are given to the fact that he remembers the day the humankind fleet arrived and how beautiful the sky was. Oh, for the purpose of my note taking, I called it humankind mostly because they refer to themselves as the humankind fleet. And for some reason, that's easier for me to remember than three letters put together, ABH. So forgive me if that's confusing to how you might remember it. So it just seems like his rhetorical question of did I ever really miss Martine feels like the whole episode shows that yeah, I missed Martine. It just starts off with the part that he would miss it from, and then goes through this whole Teal is a real jerk ass and put me through quite a bit that night. You know, that sort of thing. I kept talking about Jinto's maid or nanny, but it totally escaped me that the woman telling him not to climb in the window that was later looking for him on the streets was the person he called Rena in the very first few shots of the episode. Rena, his older sister. So I guess also that later shot where he's looking at this old woman in the space dock, and I say, "Hey, you look like my nanny or my maid." That kind of just looks like an old version of Rena, and I think the assumption there is maybe he thinks so too, but at the same time, it's obviously not, because why would she be there? If the Erickson 2's lasers are the scale of weapons we can come to expect from the humans of the show, I guess technically they're all humans, but just genetically modified. This is like Gundam Seed, basically. We have the naturals and the coordinators. Just now, the coordinators look like elves. Anyway, then the 10 lasers they had ready to defend Martine would have had no effect anyways, despite being insignificant to the number of ships in orbit as there were. I feel like that's everybody that's complaining in the episode, like the people in the background and everything, they just don't get it that they were fucked, and this was like the best deal they were getting. Let's see. Teal gets handed a folder titled Top Secret. The report on former transmission record former transmission record, the Mankind Reich ABH, which, when you start calling the aliens a Reich, I guess that starts putting things into a new connotation. You may have seen that I paused on the inside because it has like the rundown, I guess, of that phone call that Rock got, right? Where's the chief secretary? Sleeping. It's an emergency. Wake him up. Target approaching. Direction 216894. Distance 1,500. 1,053 something. Blank. Answer to the distinction signal. Blank. Blank. Ting any communications. Blank. Blank. The alarm go off. Blank. Blank. It appeared. That's all I can get from that. They do show the book again from a different sideways angle. You're supposed to be doing this. It's either me trying to fix my neck because that hurts, or I was trying to read sideways, but I think that was just a complete blur, so I didn't pick it up. So the scenes where the space defenses were getting erected were the arguments Rock and his staff were having, with the flashbacks to Erickson 2 being destroyed, being Rock considering it, while his staff rallied towards going down fighting. Which is going to lead right into this comment here. I keep feeling like Teal is an overreactor. From an outside perspective, I could see people getting pissed that the president turned a democracy into a monarchy. But at the cost of the planet not getting destroyed, that just feels like a price worth paying. Lord Dusanio said that a ruler or magistrate would be appointed to the system. All Rock did was make sure that that person was someone from within the system in order to get the boon that the people would be able to use the routes to other star systems, which seems major if you didn't have that before. Dusanio asked for the codes for the space defense system, but that almost seems irrelevant considering we saw how ineffective Erickson 2 was against one of the ships. Now, it's just occurring to me now that I'm reading this out loud that what if that ship that took out Erickson 2 was not one of the ABH ships, right? What if the ABH were fighting something and losing before in that first scene? Sorry, this is just occurring to me. What if they were fighting and losing against something in that first scene, and one of those somethings that they were fighting against is what took out Erickson? So that I'm now just assuming that it's one of their ships that took out Erickson? But in fact, it's something that the ABH is afraid of or worried about, and they want the backup of the space defenses in case they come here. I don't know. It's even then, what would be the point? Because we know it wouldn't work. I don't know. Maybe that's just a thing. Maybe that's just like a plot point to keep a thumb on, and we'll come back to later. I wonder if ennoblement involves genetic modification to turn a human into one of those elves, right? Like the next time we're gonna see Rock, he's gonna have elf ears or something. Didn't seem like they did it to Jinto, but who knows? Alright, my last thought here is the naming conventions. We saw Jinto's dad's name was Rock Lin, so we know Jinto should be Jinto Lin, right? But in the preview, he is called Prince Jinto of Lin Seun Rock Hyde. Seems like they kept the first name, took his last name as the first part of his new last name. I don't know where Seun comes from, so if that's just some translation thing, like Seun is Von, or, you know, just another version of, alien language, I don't know. They added his father's first name, kind of like that old Viking thing of taking your dad's name, adding son to the end of it. Ericsson. Kind of ironic I'm saying that now. I keep bringing up Ericsson twice. Well, sorry, I didn't read it to you before. I had made a note about the Leif Erikson immigrant ship that exploded. I don't know. I didn't bring it up here, probably because I didn't know exactly when it happened in the timeline. And then Hyde for the star system he came from. So he's Prince Jinto of family last name, Sion, dad's first name, star system you were born in. Kind of like those what's your porn name thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts at the end of the episode. Again, I know this would all be more interesting if I had somebody else to bounce it off of, but you know what? I'm putting it all into this one episode so that when you comment here, if you comment here, I can respond to them in the next episode, not be bouncing them off of you. It'll almost be like in time. So, that's the experiment here. If this doesn't work out, then I'll just go back to doing them at the start of the next episode or whatever. But hey, thanks for joining me. Again, if you're here at all, love you. Otherwise, I will catch you for the next episode. This is Theta, Stoneface Reactions, signing out.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?